We've got the ultimate Super Bowl preview matchup here as the number one seeds from each conference currently right now go head to head on Monday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens coming off a great victory against Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday Night Football, flying out to San Francisco to take on Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and the 49ers. And Ryan, this is I know we've said this a lot up to this point, but this is probably the game of the year now at this point. This is the ultimate Super Bowl preview matchup. These two teams are currently the best in each conference. 49ers, you can make an argument, are unstoppable. Maybe this is the year. The Ravens are having the dream season. It seems like Lamar Jackson is back to that MVP form, having great additions, adding great additions to the team, especially in the receiving room that has helped out a lot. Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham Jr. And this is going to be an ultimate game because I was even thinking about it on how, like how these two teams fare against one another, and I couldn't think of two more opposite styles of play. I feel like the Baltimore Ravens have the kind of ground and pound that traditional AFC North gritty style of play, while the San Francisco 49ers kind of have that, I don't want to say West Coast, so to say, but that flowy scheme offense that creates guys opens and can beat you in so many different ways. And I think it's going to be a very unique matchup here because both these defenses are top in the league, and then both these offenses are top in the league. Except for Baltimore Ravens, they're not top in passing yards. But as I said, that's not really their style of play. They've just been significantly more efficient this year, and they've maximized that capacity. What are your thoughts on this game as a whole and the overall objectives of each team?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because I do think you're right. The Ravens are more of like the gritty, like AFC North style, but they can spread it out. And I do think while the 49ers definitely run more of like a spread style Shanahan-esque system, they don't have a problem lining up with 6 or 7 offensive linemen and putting you in your place a little bit on the offensive side of the ball either. So I think both of these offenses do a really good job. And the Ravens, while may not have the most explosive passing attack in the league, they definitely have one of the most efficient. So that's going to be a really interesting battle there. And the Ravens right now are coming off a huge Sunday night victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, clinching their playoff spot, and I believe the AFC North.
Not the AFC North just yet, and that's what makes this super unique. It's the 49ers have already clinched the division, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here.
Yeah, they did. They clinched it this week.
Yeah. But the AFC North, though, I mean, the Browns are only 2 games back, and if you go look at the Ravens' upcoming schedule as well, they play 49ers this week, then host Miami, and then they do host Pittsburgh in Week 18. They did lose to Pittsburgh in Week 5. I'm not too concerned about that game.
They should not have lost that game.
No. And so technically, the Browns are still in it for the division, and I guess you can make an argument the Bengals as well. I don't know how tiebreakers would work out because they're 3 games back, but a lot of stuff has to happen for both those teams to have a shot. But I think that's going to be the biggest thing is the 49ers have so many different unique ways to score offensively, and the Ravens do also. However, I'm just curious that they're going to need to maximize their efficiency in the passing game. It's going to take an absolute 53-man team effort. Lamar Jackson, I think, is going to have to hit his spots. They didn't have to. He didn't have to have an offensive explosion this past game. He had more of an offensive explosion with his legs. He ran for 97 yards against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Only 14 for 24 for 171 yards and 1 touchdown against Jacksonville. Jacksonville actually, I think, got to give props to their defense. I felt like he was under pressure a lot. And
he got hit a lot.
And he got hit a lot. They did a good job in the secondary as well. I feel like tried to contain some of the receivers. But Lamar Jackson was just Lamar Jackson. He should have got sacked so many times, but was able to evade it. And it's going to take those kind of plays, the typical kind of Lamar Jackson type plays, to keep Nick Bosa and Fred Warner like on their toes when they blitz and get after them. I think one thing to watch as well is just going to see how the team reacts after Keaton Mitchell went down. Their stud running back, who unfortunately looks like he has a season-ending knee injury. Also, too, Ronnie Stanley, their starting left tackle, is going to be in the concussion protocol. So those are a couple injuries to watch here. Ryan, let's talk about the 49ers a little bit. What are some of the ways you think the 49ers can effectively attack this Baltimore Ravens defense, which is one of the top in the league? And what are some things that you think they have to avoid?
So with this defense, they play really good assignment football, right? So one of the things I think the 49ers are going to have to do is get a lot of yards after catch, just because I don't think they're really going to be able to beat or catch this Ravens defense in a busted coverage. I know the Jags did last night, and they were able to get a long touchdown play on that, but they're going to have the 8-play, 10-play drives, I think, and really kind of piece things together as a whole. Because this Ravens defense, they play really good assignment football. They're going to struggle, I think, to run the ball organically, just kind of like lining up and running the ball between the tackles, just because the Ravens are, I think, they have the best run defense in the league, if not top 3. And then this pass rush is really good as well. So, yeah, I think getting the ball out early, getting in rhythm, getting the spreading them out, and getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers is gonna be key here. What to avoid. I mean, this is gonna be, I think, obvious, but the critical mistakes. I think every week, in not the Bengals. The Ravens are riding a 4-game win streak going back to the game against the Bengals. And in all of those games, they have at least one turnover. And I just think if you're this offense for the Ravens is really efficient, you do not want to give them a short field. And just because they don't have the most explosive passing attack doesn't mean that they can't have some explosive plays. Yeah. So you don't give them any opportunities or any momentum going into a drive. So.
Yeah. I like it. I will say one thing to watch also for the 49ers is try to be as healthy as you possibly can. Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead did not play in Week 15. They were not really needed against the Arizona Cardinals, especially when your offense puts up 40-plus points. But this is going to be a game, and so this is going to be a game you're going to want your best players as well. So make sure that they get healthy. Hopefully that extra day is going to help out a lot. Make sure that they play. But, Ryan, let's get into predictions here. But before we do that, if you have not already, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever Ryan and I create new content. We do have one final goal, and that is to get to 2,333 subscribers by the end of the year. So just a couple weeks away, actually less than 2 weeks away now at this point. But the reason why we chose that number is if we hit that number, we would have got 2,000 new unique subscribers to the channel within a calendar year. So if you've not already, as I said, like, subscribe, help us reach our goal and join our growing community of football fanatics. And Ryan, let's get into it here. Who do you think is going to win this game and why?
So I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. I just think they have more ways to win. And then this defense is so athletic. I feel like they're going to be able to contain Lamar Jackson within reason. And yeah, I just think the 49ers are going to be the better team here.
I'm also going to go with the 49ers. I definitely think this is a Super Bowl preview matchup. I mean, the AFC wildcard, the AFC playoff is going to be absolutely wild. I think all 7 teams would have a legitimate shot to make the Super Bowl. The NFC, though, that I think the 49ers have kind of definitely separated themselves far and away as the better team, one of the best teams in the league. And I think that and just how they have played and just the offensive explosion that they had, there's so many different ways that they could beat you. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 type victory. It's going to come down to the wire. But I think just being at home is going to give them that extra edge. And seeing that offensive explosion that they've had week in and week out this entire year, I think it's going to be slow down a little bit because the Ravens defense is phenomenal, but I just don't know if the Ravens offensively we'll be able to match some stuff for stuff. So it's going to be a phenomenal game. To end the season, and it's going to be on Christmas Day as well, the last game of Week 16. So it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good matchup and definitely a Super Bowl preview for sure. So we're both taking the 49ers here. Let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and help Tyler and I reach that goal of getting to 2,333 subscribers. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Baltimore Ravens? Will it be the San Francisco 49ers? And other than that, we will see you guys next time.